What if I told you that discipline is not something you're born with, but something you build, like a muscle? Hey, listen closely. Most people think success is about talent, luck, or intelligence, but that's not the full truth. The real secret behind every focused athlete, every productive entrepreneur, every calm and composed leader is discipline. Pure, consistent, relentless discipline. But here's the catch. We live in a world full of distractions. You open your phone for a quick message, 30 minutes are gone. You promise yourself one last episode, suddenly it's 2 a.m. You set a goal in the morning and forget about it by lunch. So how do you fight back? You start building discipline like you're building a wall, brick by brick, one small rule at a time. You don't need superhuman willpower. You need simple habits followed daily even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. And let's be honest, discipline isn't sexy. It doesn't give you instant results, but it gives you something better. Control. Control over your mood, control over your day, control over your life. When others break down under pressure, you rise because you trained your mind to obey your values, not your emotions. Discipline is that quiet force that turns chaos into structure, weakness into strength, and potential into power. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to start today. So in this video, let's go deep. I'm going to walk you through small but powerful rules, not just theory, real habits that, when followed, will reshape how you live, work, and think. You're not lazy. You're just undisciplined. Let's change that, one rule at a time. Rule 1. Waking up at the same time every day. Imagine this. You wake up one morning and realize you're always running, rushing to meetings, skipping breakfast, replying to messages while brushing your teeth. Your entire day feels like it's chasing you, not the other way around. Now flip that. Imagine a day where you wake up calm. No panic. The sun is still stretching itself across the sky. You're already up, already alert, and already focused. That's the power of waking up at the same time every day. It sounds simple, right? But this one habit, just this one, can transform your life. Discipline begins in the morning. That's your first battle. If you hit snooze, you lose the first fight of the day. And that single loss, it sets the tone. It tells your mind, it's okay to delay. It's okay to be soft. But if you win that first battle, if you stand up when it's hard, if you rise while the rest of the world still sleeps, that's a powerful message. It tells your brain, I'm in charge today. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You just need to wake up consistently, even on weekends. Because it's not the time that matters most, it's the rhythm. When your body knows what to expect, your energy becomes more stable, your thoughts become sharper, and most importantly, your sense of control gets stronger. The most disciplined people in the world don't wake up early just to show off. They do it because they've learned a truth most people ignore. Your morning shapes your mindset shapes your actions, and your actions shape your future. But let's be honest, starting this habit isn't easy. The bed feels warm, the air feels cold, the excuses start flooding in. Just 5 more minutes. But those 5 minutes turn into 30, then guilt, then regret, and another day begins in chaos. So how do you actually do it? Start small. Pick a time, stick to it. Even if you go to bed late, wake up at your set time. It'll hurt for a few days, maybe even weeks, but you're not doing this for comfort. You're doing this for growth. Over time, your body will adjust. And one morning, you'll open your eyes just minutes before the alarm and smile. That's your discipline kicking in. This rule isn't about becoming a morning person. It's about becoming a purpose-driven person. Someone who doesn't wait for motivation, but moves with intention. Someone who takes ownership of their hours and doesn't let the day slip through their fingers. Think about this. What's the difference between someone who wakes up at 6 and someone who wakes at 10? That's 4 hours. Multiply that by 30 days. You've gained 120 hours. That's 5 full days of advantage every month. While others are sleeping, you're sharpening. While others scroll, you're focused. While others are distracted, you're already ahead. So tomorrow morning when your alarm rings, pause.
Remember why you set it. Remember that the most successful people on earth have one thing in common. They master their mornings. Your dreams don't work unless you do, and that starts with getting out of bed on time. Now, let me ask you, are you waking up to your alarm or waking up to your excuses? Rule 2. Do your hardest tasks first thing in the morning. Let's face it, we all have those tasks we dread, the ones that feel heavy just thinking about them. Maybe it's an important email, a tough decision, a difficult phone call, or a creative project that demands your full brain power. Whatever it is, we often do the same thing. We push it, postpone it, hide from it behind easier tasks. We convince ourselves, I'll get to it later once I warm up. But that later never comes. And by the end of the day, we're exhausted, distracted, and filled with guilt. Here's the truth successful people understand. Your willpower is strongest in the morning. Your mind is fresh. Your energy is high. The world hasn't demanded too much from you yet. That's when you strike. That's when you tackle your biggest, most important, most uncomfortable tasks. It's called eating the frog, a famous idea from Mark Twain. He said, if the first thing you do each morning is eat a live frog, nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. The frog is your hardest task. If you eat it early, the rest of the day feels lighter, smoother, more focused. If you avoid it, it grows uglier in your mind and keeps biting at your brain all day long. And here's the amazing part. Doing hard things early actually makes you feel stronger. Once you knock out that one big task, your confidence grows. You feel a rush of pride. You say, if I can do that, I can do anything today. You begin to build momentum. And momentum, my friend, is the secret engine behind a productive life. Now, you might ask, what if I don't feel ready for the hard stuff in the morning? Good question. That's where discipline kicks in. You don't wait to feel ready. You prepare yourself the night before. Write down the hardest task. Make it non-negotiable. When you wake up, no thinking, no bargaining. You just do it. Action before hesitation. That's how disciplined minds operate. The truth is, most people spend their freshest hours doing low-value things, checking emails, scrolling social media, organizing files, watching news. But the top performers, they use that golden window, the first 2 to 3 hours of their day, to do the things that truly move the needle. They don't avoid discomfort, they attack. Think of your brain like a phone battery. In the morning, it's 100% charged. Every decision, every distraction, every small task, it drains your power. By the time you reach the evening, your battery is low. That's why you should never save the most important things for the end. You need full power to face your biggest challenges. Here's a trick. If the task feels too big, break it down. Just do the first 5 minutes. Often the hardest part is starting. Once you begin, the resistance fades. You enter flow, and from there, things get easier. This rule isn't just about productivity, it's about character. When you choose to face your fears early, you train your mind to stop running. You become someone who does the right thing, not the easy thing. And over time, that identity becomes your power. Remember this, discipline is doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. So tomorrow morning, don't run from your frogs. Don't delay your dreams. Don't hide behind comfort. Ask yourself, will you use your morning to hide or to conquer? Rule 3. Eat healthier food. You might think discipline is all about routines, goals, or willpower. But here's something most people overlook. Your discipline depends on your energy, and your energy depends on what you eat. Think about it. Have you ever felt tired, foggy, or unmotivated for no reason? You slept okay, your day isn't too busy, but something just feels off. Often, the answer is sitting on your plate. What you put in your body doesn't just affect your waistline. It affects your focus, your mood, your stamina, and yes, your discipline. If you fuel your body with junk, you can't expect it to run like a high-performance machine. Discipline requires strength, not just mental, but physical. And food is the fuel that either builds you up or breaks you down. Look at the most disciplined people on the planet. Athletes, soldiers, CEOs. They don't eat for comfort. They eat for function. They understand that their body is a tool, and what you feed that tool determines how well it performs. You don't have to go extreme. You don't need to count every calorie or cut out all sugar, but you do need to make intentional choices. Start by noticing how certain foods make you feel. Do you feel energized after a meal or sleepy? Focused or foggy? That awareness is the first step. Here's what helps. Start small. Replace soda with water. Add one fruit to your breakfast. Swap deep-fried food for grilled once a day. These tiny upgrades compound. Slowly, you build a new standard for yourself. Your taste buds change. Your cravings shift. Your body begins to trust you again. And the benefit? Clearer thinking, more stable emotions, less laziness, fewer crashes. When your body feels strong, your mind follows. You're more likely to finish that workout, stick to that schedule, complete that hard task, because your internal system is working with you, not against you. But eating healthy isn't just about energy. It's also a powerful act of self-respect. Every time you make a healthy choice, you're telling yourself, I deserve to feel good. I deserve to function at my best. That's a message your subconscious hears loud and clear. Some people eat whatever's convenient. Some eat whatever's cheapest. Some eat out of habit. But disciplined people, they eat with intention because they know every bite either sharpens them or slows them down. Yes, food can be comfort. Yes, food can be celebration. But food is also information. It tells your body how to perform. If you constantly feed it processed, sugary, greasy things, it responds with fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, and inflammation. But if you fuel it with nutrients, real, natural, whole foods, your body rewards you with clarity, energy, and resilience.
So next time you reach for something, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? Because every meal is a choice. Every bite is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. Let me ask you, are you feeding your feelings or fueling your future? Rule 4, practice gratitude daily. There's a quiet power that most people ignore, the power of gratitude. In a world that constantly screams, you need more, you're not enough, or you're falling behind, it's easy to wake up each morning already feeling defeated. Our attention is pulled in every direction. Social media shows us everyone else's highlight reels. Advertisements remind us of what we don't have, and we start believing that happiness is something out there, something we'll earn after we become rich, successful, famous, or perfect. But that's a lie. True discipline, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from pressure or punishment. It comes from peace. And peace begins with gratitude. When you take a moment each day to appreciate what you already have, your body, your breath, your family, your mind, your opportunities, you shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. And that shift changes everything. Gratitude isn't just an emotion. It's a tool, a mental muscle, a practice that trains your brain to stop obsessing over what's missing and to start honoring what's already present. It turns your ordinary life into a miracle. Why is this important for discipline? Because when you're ungrateful, your mind is restless. You chase distractions. You compare yourself with others. You feel stuck, tired, and overwhelmed. And when you feel that way, it's harder to stay focused, to stay strong, or to make healthy choices. You say, what's the point? And give up. But when you're grateful, you feel rich, even if you're not. You feel whole, even if you're still growing. You don't waste energy on what you can't control. You pour your energy into what you can, and that's where discipline is born. Practicing gratitude doesn't have to be complicated. Just take 3 minutes every morning or evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for, big or small. Maybe it's a meal you enjoyed, a smile from a stranger, a lesson learned, a dream you're chasing. Say it out loud. Feel it. Let it sink in. This tiny habit rewires your brain. Neuroscience shows that gratitude activates the same parts of your brain as joy and compassion. It lowers stress, improves sleep, and boosts your immune system. More importantly, it builds emotional resilience, the kind of inner strength you need when life gets tough. Gratitude also helps you appreciate your progress. You stop judging your journey based on someone else's timeline. You start celebrating small wins. And when you value what you have, you protect it. You nurture it. That's discipline. People often think that gratitude means settling, that if you're thankful, you'll stop striving. But it's the opposite. Gratitude doesn't kill ambition. It fuels it. When you're grateful, you want to show up, to grow, to give your best, not because you're empty, but because you're full. And when setbacks happen, because they always will, gratitude becomes your anchor. Instead of spiraling into frustration, you ground yourself. You say, "This hurts, but I'm still blessed." That mindset helps you stay consistent even when the path is hard. So next time your mind tells you, "I'll be happy when," pause. Say instead, "I'm thankful now, and I'm becoming more." Start with your breath, your hands, your freedom, your chance to begin again today. And ask yourself, are you chasing happiness or are you choosing it right now?
Rule 5. Meditate. Close your eyes for a moment and listen. Not to the noise around you, but to the noise inside you. There's a constant stream of thoughts running in your mind. Worries about the future, regrets from the past, list of things to do, fears of what others think, and 1,000 voices pulling you in 1,000 directions. No wonder you feel overwhelmed. No wonder focus is difficult. In this chaotic world, discipline begins with stillness, and meditation is your gateway to that stillness. Most people think meditation is just sitting in silence, but it's so much more than that. Meditation is the act of taking control of your own mind. It's choosing to step away from the chaos for just a few minutes and say, right now, I'm going to be present. Right now, I'm going to breathe and be. And here's the truth. If you can't control your thoughts, you can't control your habits. If your mind constantly jumps, wanders, worries, or reacts, how can you stick to a routine? How can you stay disciplined? You can't. That's why meditation isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Even 5 minutes a day can change everything. You sit down, you breathe in slowly. You breathe out. You notice your thoughts. You don't fight them, you don't chase them, you simply become aware. Over time, that awareness grows stronger. You start noticing your patterns, the way you react, the emotions you suppress, the stories you repeat in your head. And then comes the magic. Once you notice your thoughts, you can change them. You stop reacting to life blindly. You respond with clarity. Instead of scrolling mindlessly when you're stressed, you pause. Instead of exploding in anger, you reflect. Instead of giving up when it's hard, you sit with the discomfort and breathe through it. That's what meditation teaches you, to pause before you act. And that pause is where discipline is born. Science backs this up. Regular meditation increases gray matter in the brain, the part responsible for self-control, decision-making, and emotional regulation. It lowers cortisol, stress hormone, improves focus, and helps with anxiety and depression. In simple terms, it makes you mentally stronger. And guess what? You don't need to be a monk or sit cross-legged on a mountain. You can meditate anywhere, on your bed, at your desk, even during a short walk. All you need is intention. Start small. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Sit still. Focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back. That's the rep. That's the workout. It's not about being perfect. It's about coming back again and again. Over time, meditation becomes your anchor. When life throws chaos, you return to your breath. When your day feels messy, you return to stillness. When your emotions try to control you, you take back the wheel. You begin to see the world differently. And more importantly, you begin to see yourself differently. You're no longer just reacting, you're choosing. You're no longer ruled by emotion, you're guided by awareness. That is the essence of true discipline. So, the next time your world feels loud and your goals feel far, don't run away from the noise. Sit with it. Breathe through it. Face it. Because silence is not emptiness. Silence is strength. And let me ask you, are you mastering your mind or is your mind mastering you? Rule 6. Replace old habits with new ones. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are living in a routine. Not always when you chose, but when you slipped into. You wake up and check your phone. You scroll when you're bored. You snack when you're stressed. You speak without thinking. You promised yourself you'll change tomorrow. But here's a hard truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. And most of your habits, they were built by accident. That's why building discipline isn't about doing more, it's about doing things differently. It's not just about cutting bad habits, it's about replacing them. Because habits don't simply disappear. They leave behind a craving, a void. If you don't fill that space with something better, you'll fall back, again and again.
Let's say your habit is scrolling social media every time you feel anxious. You can't just stop. The anxiety will still come. What you can do is replace it with journaling, deep breathing, a short walk, or stretching. You take the same trigger but respond with a new action. That's how habit change truly works. Behavioral science proves this. It's called the habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. To change a habit, keep the cue and the reward, but change the routine. The more you repeat the new behavior, the stronger the neural connection becomes. Over time, it becomes your new default. This is why willpower alone fails. You can force yourself to quit sugar, stop watching mindless videos, or stop complaining. But if you don't replace the emotional need those behaviors were meeting, your brain will fight back. That's why real change is strategic, not emotional. Here's what helps. Make the new habit easy. Don't try to go from 0 to perfect overnight. Start with one small upgrade. Replace your nightly binge watch with 10 pages of a book. Replace negative self-talk with one positive affirmation. Replace skipping workouts with just 5 push-ups. Small hinges swing big doors. And be patient. Your old habits didn't form in a day. They won't leave in a day either. Your brain is wired for comfort and familiarity. It resists change. But discipline means doing what's right, even when it's uncomfortable, especially then. Also, track your progress. Keep a habit journal. Celebrate wins, even tiny ones. When you replace an old habit successfully for 3 days, write it down. That builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Remember, every habit you break is a message to your mind. I am no longer that person. And every habit you build is a statement, this is who I am now. You are not your past habits. You are not your mistakes. You are what you do today. And the choice to replace the old with the new is the choice to rewrite your future. No one becomes disciplined by accident. It's built, decision by decision, habit by habit, day by day. So today, take an honest look. What's one habit that's hurting you? And what's one small habit you can use to replace it? Now ask yourself, are your habits controlling you, or are you choosing the habits that define your future?
Rule 7. Set daily intentions before the day starts. Before your feet even touch the ground in the morning, your mind is already moving. Thoughts are racing. Responsibilities are knocking. Distractions are waiting. And if you're not careful, the day will own you before you get a chance to own the day. That's where the power of setting daily intentions comes in. This rule is simple, but life-changing. Before you dive into your day, pause and decide how you want to show up. Don't just react. Don't just follow what comes. Lead your day with intention.
Imagine waking up and asking yourself 3 simple questions. What matters most today? Who do I want to be today? And how do I want to feel when I go to bed tonight? These aren't just fluffy ideas. They give your mind a map. Because without direction, even a powerful person will drift. Your energy gets wasted on low-priority tasks. Your mood gets hijacked by random events. And at night, you wonder why you feel so drained. But when you set an intention, even something as simple as, "Today, I will be focused and patient," it becomes your anchor. Throughout the day, that intention whispers to you. It pulls you back on track when your mind wanders. It reminds you of who you said you wanted to be. And that little reminder, that's where discipline grows. This is how elite athletes, CEOs, monks, and high performers structure their minds. They don't wait for motivation. They program their mindset before the world gets noisy. Because once the day starts, it's war. Deadlines, distractions, doubts, people pulling you everywhere. If you don't have clarity, you'll be led by chaos. Here's how you do it. Each morning, before you check your phone, before you jump into tasks, take 3 minutes. Sit still. Take a breath. Think. Say to yourself, what is one thing I will do today that moves me closer to who I want to be? Write it down. Speak it out loud. That one sentence becomes your focus point, your mission. Let's say your intention is, today I will be consistent. Now, when you feel tempted to skip your workout, your mind recalls your promise. When you want to quit early, your intention reminds you, not today. It's not pressure, it's power. The best part? This practice builds self-awareness. You stop living on autopilot. You become more conscious of your actions. And when you live consciously, discipline becomes easier, not harder. You make better decisions. You speak with more clarity. You move with purpose, not just productivity. Over time, these daily intentions create a ripple effect. One clear day becomes one clear week, then one focused month. Before you know it, you've become the version of yourself you used to only wish for. Remember, a disciplined life doesn't just happen. It's built by design. And design begins with intention. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up and go. Wake up and decide who you're going to be. Now ask yourself, are you living by default or by design? Rule 8. Take cold showers. At first, this might sound strange. What does taking a cold shower have to do with discipline? But once you understand what's really happening during that icy blast of water, you'll realize it's not just about cleaning your body, it's about training your mind. Every time you step into a cold shower, something powerful happens. Your brain screams, "No!" Your body tries to pull back. Your heart races. Everything inside you says, "This is uncomfortable, don't do it." And right there, in that exact moment, you're standing face to face with a choice. Comfort or control. That's why cold showers are more than just a physical challenge. They are a mental battlefield. When you take a cold shower, you're practicing one of the most powerful skills a disciplined person can develop. Doing what needs to be done even when it's uncomfortable. Let's be real. The world today is soft. We avoid discomfort at all costs. Warm beds, easy food, entertainment on demand, instant pleasure. But here's the catch. The more comfort you chase, the weaker you become. Discipline is born in discomfort. Cold showers aren't about being extreme. They're about building resilience. They teach you how to breathe through stress, how to stay calm under pressure, how to face something difficult without running away. And guess what? That skill doesn't stay in the bathroom. It follows you into every area of life.
You start handling criticism better. You stay more composed in stressful situations. You don't panic under pressure. Why? Because you've trained your nervous system to remain steady even when it's cold, intense, and unpleasant. There are also physical benefits: improved circulation, reduced inflammation, increased alertness, and even better immunity. But the biggest benefit isn't physical, it's psychological. Every time you take that cold shower, you're sending a message to yourself. I'm in charge here. Not your comfort, not your fear, not your feelings. You. And let's be honest, it's not easy. You'll hesitate, you'll flinch, you'll want to turn the knob back to warm, but that's the test. That's the exact moment where discipline is built, not in theory, but in action. You don't need to start with ice-cold water right away. Begin with a warm shower, then turn it cold for the last 30 seconds. Gradually increase the time. Breathe deeply. Stay focused. You'll start to notice something fascinating. What once felt terrifying now becomes your new normal. Because you're changing. You're getting stronger. Think of it like this. Every time you choose the cold, you're choosing growth. You're choosing discomfort over ease, strength over weakness, willpower over weakness. And that choice, it echoes into every part of your life. So when the water hits and your instincts scream, turn it off. Don't. Stand tall, breathe, smile. You're not just taking a shower, you're practicing courage. You're building the version of you who doesn't back down when things get tough, the version who doesn't need comfort to function, the version who walks into challenges and comes out sharper.
So ask yourself this: are you stepping into growth or are you hiding in comfort? Rule 9. Go to bed on time. Let's be honest, most people don't plan to stay up late. It just happens. You tell yourself, just one more video, just one more scroll. I'll sleep after this episode. And before you know it, the clock strikes 1 a.m. Your eyes are tired, your body is drained, but your brain is buzzing, filled with digital noise and artificial light. But here's the thing. You can't build discipline on a tired mind. Going to bed on time isn't just about getting rest. It's about respecting your future self. Every time you stay up unnecessarily, you borrow energy from tomorrow. You start the next day behind, groggy, irritable, unfocused. And that delay, that low energy, leads to skipped routines, poor choices, and a scattered mind. Discipline loves structure, and your sleep schedule is the foundation of that structure. When you go to bed on time, your body enters recovery mode. Your brain processes information, your muscles heal, your hormones balance. You wake up with clarity, and clarity is where good decisions come from. You can't expect yourself to be productive, patient, or powerful on a broken sleep cycle. People often say they're night owls, but that's usually a habit, not biology. In most cases, it's a pattern formed by years of distraction, inconsistency, and lack of boundaries. The truth is, your body craves rhythm. It wants predictability. Going to bed at the same time each night sets that rhythm. It trains your internal clock. Over time, sleep becomes deeper, faster, and more restorative. And yes, it's hard at first. Your brain will resist. You will feel the pull of entertainment, the FOMO, and the unfinished tasks. But remember, discipline is doing what's necessary, even when it's inconvenient. So tonight, when the temptation rises to stay up late for no reason, pause and ask yourself, are you staying awake for joy or just avoiding tomorrow? Rule 10. No screen before bed. We live in a world where screens are everywhere. Phones, laptops, TVs, they light up our lives and keep us connected. But when it comes to bedtime, screens can be our biggest enemy.
Have you ever noticed how scrolling through your phone just before sleep leaves your mind racing? How that blue light feels like caffeine for your brain? That's no accident. Screens emit something called blue light, which tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. It suppresses melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. The result? You struggle to fall asleep, toss and turn, and wake up feeling groggy and unrefreshed. When you commit to no screens at least 30 minutes before bed, you give your brain a chance to wind down naturally. You create a quiet space for your thoughts to settle. Your body can produce melatonin properly. Your sleep quality improves. Better sleep means better energy, sharper focus, and stronger willpower the next day. Without it, discipline crumbles. This habit might seem small, but it's powerful. It's a simple act of self-care and respect. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, you might read a book, write in a journal, or simply breathe and reflect.
And yes, it's tough to break. Screens are addictive, designed to grab your attention endlessly. But discipline is about setting boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. You're choosing your peace over instant gratification. So tonight, try this. Put your phone on airplane mode or leave it in another room. Switch off the TV. Dim the lights. Create a bedtime ritual that prepares your mind and body for rest. It won't just improve your sleep, it'll improve your life. Because when your mind is clear and rested, you're stronger, more patient, more focused, and more disciplined. Ask yourself, are you controlling your screen, or is your screen controlling your sleep? Rule 11. Exercise daily. Discipline isn't just about the mind, it's about the body too. Think about it. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through every challenge, every success, every moment of your life. If that vehicle is weak, slow, or broken down, how far can you really go? Exercise daily isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, energized, and capable. It's about training your body and your mind to work together, to resist fatigue, and to push past limits. When you commit to moving your body every day, you build a foundation for discipline that reaches far beyond the gym or running track. Here's the truth. Discipline grows with every drop of sweat. When you choose to exercise, even when you don't feel like it, you're proving to yourself that you can overcome resistance. You're training your willpower muscle to say yes to growth and no to comfort. But daily exercise doesn't mean hours at the gym. It means making a choice. To stand up, to move, to breathe deeply, and to challenge your body. It can be a 10-minute walk, a set of push-ups, yoga, dancing, or anything that raises your heart rate and stretches your muscles. The benefits go beyond physical health. Exercise releases endorphins, natural mood boosters, helping you feel happier and more motivated. It sharpens your focus, improves your sleep, and reduces stress and anxiety. All of these help build mental discipline. Plus, when your body feels good, your confidence rises. You start to respect yourself more. You set higher standards. And suddenly, saying no to bad habits becomes easier because you want to protect what you've built. Remember, discipline is about consistency, not intensity. Some days will be hard. You might feel tired or unmotivated. But even a little movement is better than none. The key is to make exercise a non-negotiable part of your day, like brushing your teeth. If you struggle to start, begin small. Commit to just 5 minutes. Build from there. Track your progress. Celebrate small wins. Soon, moving your body will feel natural, even necessary. Every time you exercise, you're telling yourself, I am worth the effort. That's powerful. That belief will spill over into your work, relationships, and goals. So tomorrow,
Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect time. Put on your shoes and move. Even if it's just a few steps. Ask yourself, are you moving toward strength or standing still? Rule 12. Use the 3-2-1 rule. Discipline often feels overwhelming because our to-do lists stretch on endlessly. We wake up, see dozens of tasks staring back at us, and suddenly the day feels impossible. But what if there was a simple way to cut through the chaos, to bring clarity and focus to your day without feeling stressed or scattered? Enter the 3-2-1 rule, a simple, powerful tool to organize your time and energy. Here's how it works. Each day, you choose 3 important tasks you want to accomplish, 2 smaller tasks that support your progress, and 1 thing to do just for yourself, something that replenishes your energy or brings joy. Why does this matter? Because focusing on too many things at once kills your momentum. Your brain can only handle so much before it gets overwhelmed and distracted. By narrowing your focus, you create a clear path forward. You give yourself permission to say no to distractions and yes to progress.
The magic lies in the balance. The 3 big tasks are your priorities, the things that move the needle in your work, your goals, or your growth. These might be writing that report, making that call, or studying a new skill. Tackling these first builds momentum and a deep sense of accomplishment. The 2 smaller tasks act like stepping stones. They might be replying to emails, organizing your workspace, or preparing for tomorrow. These tasks keep the flow going without burning you out. And the 1 personal task is the secret sauce. Discipline isn't about work alone. It's about sustainable energy. That 1 thing might be reading a chapter of a book, meditating for 10 minutes, or simply taking a walk outside. This daily reset keeps you balanced, motivated, and prevents burnout. Using the 3-2-1 rule transforms your day from chaotic to controlled. It trains your mind to focus on what really matters. It prevents overwhelm and reduces stress. And most importantly, it builds a habit of intentional action, the essence of discipline. But here's the challenge. You have to be honest when choosing your tasks. Don't fill your list with easy, meaningless things just to check boxes. Be brave. Pick the tasks that scare you, that challenge you, that stretch you. This method also teaches you to celebrate progress, not perfection. You might not finish every task every day, but moving forward steadily, consistently, is what matters most. So tomorrow morning, before you dive into your phone or start working randomly, write down your 3-2-1. Make it your map. Follow it. Adjust it if needed, but never ignore it. Because when your day has structure and purpose, your discipline becomes unstoppable. Ask yourself, are you chasing busy work or are you focused on what truly matters? Rule 13. Put your phone in another room when you work. Phones are amazing tools, but they can also be the biggest enemies of discipline. Every ping, buzz, or notification pulls your attention away. 1 quick check turns into 10. Before you know it, an hour has vanished down the rabbit hole of distractions. If you want to build true discipline, you have to take control of your environment. And that means creating boundaries around your phone. Putting your phone in another room while you work sounds simple, but it's a game changer. It's like cutting off the constant drip of interruptions and giving your brain a chance to focus deeply. Think about this. Your brain is not designed for multitasking. Every time you glance at your phone, you break your concentration. It takes time to refocus, often longer than the quick check itself. That shattered focus saps your energy and steals your productivity.
Discipline is about protecting your attention, because attention is your most valuable resource. When you put your phone out of reach, you're telling yourself, this time is sacred. I am here to work, to grow, and to win. It's a small but powerful act of self-respect. At first, this might feel uncomfortable. You might find yourself reaching for the phone out of habit or boredom. That's normal. Your brain is wired for distraction, especially when tasks feel hard or tedious. But with practice, those urges fade. You'll start to notice how much more you get done without constant interruptions. And the benefits go beyond productivity. You'll feel calmer, less stressed, and more in control. You'll experience the flow state, that magical place where work feels effortless and time flies. That's the sweet spot of discipline. Try this. Before starting work, put your phone on silent and place it in another room. Use apps or settings that limit notifications during work hours. Set specific times to check your phone rather than letting it dictate your day. You don't have to be perfect, but the key is intention. Each time you choose to step away from your phone, you strengthen your focus muscle. You build habits that empower you rather than enslave you. Remember, distractions are not your friends. They steal your energy, waste your time, and keep you from becoming the best version of yourself. Putting your phone in another room is a simple but powerful way to reclaim your day. Ask yourself, are you letting your phone control your work, or are you controlling your phone? Discipline grows with small daily choices. Keep going and believe in yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to Mind-Blowing Motive for more motivation. See you in the next video.